Do you want to know how you could get back at that ex-spouse who may have done you wrong when it comes to your Social Security benefits? Well, we're going to talk about that in today's Tuesday Tips, so stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, Certified Financial Planner and President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center, and I want to welcome you once again to our Tuesday Tips, where we're going to be talking about how you can receive Social Security benefits as a divorced spouse. Now, I can tell you that when we're talking about this particular subject, it becomes very, very interesting to those of us who may have gone through a divorce. Now, when I speak about divorced spouse benefits in my class, I can tell you there are a lot of hands that go up because unfortunately 50% of marriages will end in a divorce, and many people do not realize that they can still be entitled to their ex-spouse benefits. And so that's what we're going to cover in today's short Tuesday tips. So let's go ahead and jump into our lesson. Now, when it comes to benefits for a divorced spouse, here are the rules. 1, you would have had to be married for at least 10 years or longer. That needs to be continuous years. So you couldn't be married for 5 years, get divorced, get back together, and you're married again for another 5 years. It has to be 10 continuous years that you're married. You also must remain unmarried if you're going to qualify for these benefits. Now, if you do remarry, you cannot collect on your ex-spousal benefits unless that marriage ends in divorce or death. That's very important to understand. So it doesn't mean that it eliminates you. It just means that that marriage has to end in divorce or death, and then you become eligible to receive those benefits again. Another factor is that both you and that ex-spouse, you have to be at least 62 years or older. There is an exception, of course, there's always an exception if you are caring for a child under the age of 16. So if that ex-spouse is 62 and you happen to be, let's say, 42, and you're caring for a child under the age of 16 for that ex-spouse, you become eligible for those spousal benefits as well. Another stipulation before you can become eligible for your ex-spouse's benefits is that that ex-spouse has to be receiving their retirement benefit or their disability benefit if your divorce was 2 years or less. Now, here's the thing. If that divorce was greater than 2 years and you're 62 and older and so is your ex-spouse, you don't even have to let that spouse know that you're filing off of their record. They won't have any idea that you're doing it. But that divorce has to be longer than 2 years in order for you to do that. So if your ex-spouse maybe had some inclination that you can file off their benefits if they started their benefits, therefore they were going to delay it maybe as long as possible so they wouldn't give you the pleasure of being able to have access to those benefits, they can forget it. As long as that marriage was 2 years or longer, they don't even have to know. They don't have to have filed for their benefits, but you can go down to the Social Security Administration and file off that record. Now, I will have to note that you can only receive any benefits from an ex-spouse if the benefits off of your own record is less than said benefits for the ex-spouse. So if your benefits are going to be greater, you're only going to receive your personal benefits off of your record, not any benefits from an ex-spouse. So exactly how much will you receive as a divorced spouse? You will receive a maximum of 50% of the ex-spouse's primary insurance amount. You'll only receive 100% of that 50% at your full retirement age. If you decide to take those benefits early, you will have a reduction on those benefits. For example, let's take a look at this here. Let's say that the ex-spouse's primary insurance amount at their full retirement age is $2,000 per month. As an ex-spouse, you can receive 1/2 of that primary insurance amount. Now that's $1,000 per month. But let's just say you wanted to go down to the administration and file at the age of 62. Well, lo and behold, you're going to receive a 30% haircut on that benefit and receive only $700 per month. Another thing to make note of, that if you do file for those benefits early, you're still going to fall under the earnings limit as well. So if you're still working and you make over $22,320 in 2024, the Social Security Administration is going to withhold $1 for every $2 that you make above that amount. So you always have to be aware of the earnings limits as well if you're going to be filing for your benefits early. Another thing that you're going to have to make note of is that if you are receiving a pension from a federal, state, or local government, the windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset rules will still apply to your ex-spouse's benefits that you'll be receiving. So that's another thing that you're going to have to also tackle if you fall under those two provisions. Another question that I'm often asked is, what if that spouse remarries? How's that going to affect the new spouse? Not that many people care, they just may want to know if it's going to affect the new spouse in a negative way. Well, I have a bit of news. It will not affect the new spouse. So no matter if you're filing off that record and your spouse gets remarried, the new spouse can also file off that person's record. And if they were to get divorced and they were married for 10 years and he remarries again, 3 people could literally be filing off one individual's record. Believe it or not, there are cases like that. If you want to know, you can reference Johnny Carson. He actually had 4 wives filing off of his individual record. So that is important to understand. It does not affect the new spouse, and it will not affect any other future ex-spouses as well. Everyone can get a piece of that pie. Thank you again for tuning in to our Tuesday tips. Please understand that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for an independent fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today. Of course, we would also like to hear from you in the comments section below. Let us know what you think about the information in this video. Do you know someone who may be filing off an ex-spouse record? Or maybe do you know someone who refuses to go down to the Social Security Administration to do so because they fear some type of repercussions from an ex-spouse? Let us know about any of those type of situations in the comments section. And if you found this information to be beneficial, all that we are asking is that you subscribe to this channel so it can continue to grow, like this video, and share with others.